If you're buying and selling real estate in an area of active oil and gas development, you need to watch this video. Today, we're talking about a few key things that you need to know about mineral rights when you're buying and selling real estate. Howdy folks, my name is Stephen Hatcher and I'm the creator of Minerals Guy. I'm an oil and gas attorney and I have over a decade of experience buying, selling, and developing oil and gas properties all across the country. My company also acquires and aggregates thousands of acres of mineral rights every single year. I created Minerals Guide to provide tailored content and education to mineral rights owners just like you, and to help mineral sellers achieve maximum value when selling their mineral rights. So today we're talking about the things you need to know about mineral rights when buying and selling real estate. So let's start with what mineral rights are. So mineral rights are legal rights to oil, natural gas, lithium, and other minerals that are buried deep beneath the Earth's surface. The owner of the mineral rights owns and is entitled to extract these minerals. In most cases, oil and gas companies will lease these rights from mineral owners in exchange for payment of a royalty on any production from oil and gas wells. In some cases, the mineral rights are not owned by the person who owns the surface real estate, which means that the minerals and the surface will have separate and distinct chains of title. The reason for this is that in oil and gas producing areas, it's common for sellers to reserve mineral rights when selling the surface. This severs the minerals from the surface and creates a separate estate for the minerals. For example, let's say that rancher James owned a 320-acre tract in Brighton, Colorado back in the 1970s. Oil and gas was discovered in the area and rancher James was pretty smart. So when he sold his farm in 1993, he reserved 100% of the minerals. At that point in time, a mineral estate was created. Through the years, his minerals have been passed down from generation to generation, and today they could be owned by one person or 20 people. So in our example above, let's say that rancher James never sold his property, and his heirs now own both surface and minerals. What should the heirs do if they want to sell the property? If they want to sell the property and reserve the minerals, then they need to do the following things. First, they need to make their real estate agent aware that the minerals are being excluded from the transaction. And the listing for the property is gonna need to call out the fact that the minerals are being reserved. In addition, they're gonna need to include reservation language in both the purchase agreement and the deed, which reserves the minerals. And they may want to seek legal assistance from an attorney so that they can make sure that the reservation language is drafted correctly. But what if they want to exit the property completely? So sell both the surface and the minerals. Perhaps the heirs live out of state, they don't want to manage mineral properties, and they would rather have cash. In this case, they could just include the minerals in the sale to the buyer, in other words, not reserve them. But most real estate buyers have no clue how to value mineral assets. And rancher James's heirs would be better off finding one buyer for the real estate and another buyer for the minerals. This is what my business does. We acquire and aggregate mineral rights all across the country. And the market for mineral rights is a pretty big business with some estimates as high as $800 billion. And you're gonna wanna find a company like mine that specializes in mineral rights acquisition and that has the knowledge and tools to value the minerals appropriately. So now let's switch sides and let's talk about what to do from the buyer's perspective. So you're buying a piece of real estate in an area of active oil and gas development. Well, the first question you should ask is, are the minerals included? If they're not, and they've either been previously reserved or they're gonna be reserved by the seller at close, then you need to ask these questions. First, are there any wells on the property? And if so, what is the status of the wells? Are they producing? Are they idle? Are they plugged? You're also gonna wanna ask for the oil and gas lease that covers the property and any surface use agreements. These documents will govern what the oil and gas company can do on the property. The second question to research and to ask is, are there any existing permits or plans for more wells to be drilled on the property? And could this potential development conflict with your use and enjoyment of the property? If this is the case, then you might want to think twice about whether this is the property for you. In general, the mineral estate is going to be dominant to the surface estate, which means that the mineral owner or their lessee, the oil company, is going to be entitled to use a portion of the surface of the property to extract those minerals. So what if you're a buyer and you want to purchase both the surface and the minerals. You can always ask. In a lot of cases, the value of the minerals may exceed the value of the surface. But if you make a good faith effort to place value on the minerals, the seller may just agree and sell them to you. So if you're buying and selling minerals in an area of active oil and gas development, do not forget the mineral rights. And if you want to learn more about oil and gas and mineral rights, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. In addition, if you're selling real estate and you need help valuing or finding a buyer for your minerals, click the link below.